Hacking is not a secret skill that only a few can master. It is a process of learning the right methods and using the right tools for the job, just like any other profession. And there is not just one way to do it. If you want to be a hacker or defend yourself from malicious hackers, you need to know what techniques they can use to break into a target. There are always vulnerabilities to exploit, whether it is old software, unpatched systems, or misconfigured devices. And if everything is secure, you can still attack the human element, which is always the weakest part of the equation. Now let's get started without wasting any more time. The first technique is zero-day exploit. Zero-day exploits are rare and unknown bugs in software that can be used to hack systems. They are not patched or detected by the public or the vendor. They are very valuable for attackers, who can use them to break into secure targets. But they have to be careful not to use them too much or too often, or they will be discovered and fixed. The best hackers have collections of zero days that they use only when necessary and discreetly. They might use a 0 day to get in, and then erase it and use other methods. Hackers can use various methods to discover and exploit zero-day vulnerabilities, such as reverse engineering, fuzzing, or social engineering. One example of a recent zero-day attack is the Log4j vulnerability that was discovered in December 2021. Log4j is an open-source logging library that is widely used by many applications and platforms, including Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Cisco, Google Cloud, and IBM. The vulnerability, also known as CVE 2021444228, allows remote code execution by attackers who can send specially crafted input to the Log4j component. This means that attackers can run malicious commands or install malware on the affected systems without any user interaction. The Log4j vulnerability was considered a critical and widespread threat, as it affected millions of devices and applications across the internet. The Log4j vulnerability was one of the most severe zero-day attacks in recent history. Another example of zero-day vulnerability is the Zerologin attack in August 2020, where a critical vulnerability in the NETLOGON protocol allowed attackers to gain domain administrator privileges on domain controllers. However, it is important to apply security best practices, such as using strong passwords, keeping software updated, enabling multi-factor authentication, using antivirus software, etc. The next hacking technique is malware. Malware is a term that stands for malicious software, and it refers to any type of software that can harm a device, a network, or a user. Malware can have different forms and functions, such as viruses, trojans, worms, ransomware, spyware, or adware. However, modern malware is often a hybrid mixture of multiple types, making it harder to detect and remove. Malware can be used by hackers to exploit vulnerabilities in systems or applications, or to spread their attacks to more victims. When a hacker discovers a new way to exploit a system or an application, they can use malware to automate and accelerate their attack. This process is called weaponization, and it means that the hacker creates a piece of malware that can exploit the vulnerability and deliver a payload, such as stealing data, encrypting files, or installing backdoors. The hacker can then distribute the malware through various channels, such as email attachments, downloads, or compromised websites. The malware can then infect the devices of unsuspecting users who open the attachments, click on the links, or visit the websites. The malware can also spread itself to other devices on the same network or across the internet. Weaponization is one of the most dangerous aspects of hacking, as it can create widespread and severe damage in a short time. Without malware, a hacker would have to manually attack each victim one by one, which would be time-consuming and risky. With malware, a hacker can attack millions of victims in minutes without being detected or traced. Therefore, it is important to protect yourself from malware by keeping your software updated, using antivirus software, and avoiding suspicious links or attachments. The next technique is social engineering. Social engineering is one of the most effective and dangerous hacking techniques. It involves manipulating or deceiving people into doing something that harms their own computer or security. For example, a hacker can send an email that looks like it comes from a trusted source, such as a bank, a company, or a friend, and trick the user into clicking on a link that leads to a malicious website, or opening an attachment that contains malware. The hacker can also pretend to be someone else, such as a technical support agent, a colleague, or a friend, and trick the user into revealing their login information, personal information, or other sensitive data. This is called phishing, and it is one of the most common forms of social engineering. Social engineering has been used by hackers for a long time, and it is still very effective today. One of the most famous hackers who used social engineering was Kevin Mitnick, who was able to break into many systems and networks by exploiting the human factor. He used his skills in persuasion, impersonation, and deception to convince people to give him access to information or resources that he was not authorized to have. He was eventually caught and arrested, and now he works as a security consultant and speaker. Social engineering is a very serious threat that can compromise your computer or your identity. Therefore, it is important to be aware of the signs of social engineering and how to prevent it. You can learn more about social engineering and how to protect yourself from it by watching this video. It covers the basics of social engineering, the types of social engineering attacks, the psychology behind them, and the best practices to avoid them. The next technique is denial of service attack. The denial of service attack is a technique that involves overwhelming a system or a network with more requests than it can handle, causing it to slow down or crash. The hacker can then prevent legitimate users from accessing the system or the network. A DOS attack can be done by sending large amounts of traffic from one source or by exploiting a vulnerability in the system or the network. A DOS attack can be launched from a single source, such as a computer or a device, or from multiple sources, such as a network of compromised machines. The latter is called a distributed denial of service attack, and it is more powerful and harder to stop than a single source DOS attack. A DDoS attack can use different methods to distribute the attack traffic, such as botnets, amplification, or reflection. A botnet is a network of infected devices that are controlled by a hacker and can be used to send large amounts of traffic to a target. You can learn more about DDoS by watching this video. It covers the basics of DDoS attacks. The next technique is man-in-the-middle attack. A man-in-the-middle attack is a type of cyber attack that allows a hacker to intercept and modify the communication between two parties without their knowledge or consent. The hacker can then spy on the conversation, change the messages, or pretend to be either party. A man-in-the-middle attack can have various goals, such as stealing data, tampering with transactions, or hijacking sessions. To perform a man-in-the-middle attack, the hacker needs to find a way to insert themselves between the two parties. This can be done by compromising a device or a service that is involved in communication, such as a router, a proxy server, a Wi-Fi network, or an encryption protocol. For example, the hacker can hack into a router and redirect the traffic to their own device, set up a fake proxy server and trick the users into connecting to it, create a rogue Wi-Fi network and lure the users to join it, break or spoof an encryption protocol and decrypt or forge the messages. By doing this, the hacker can gain access to the data that is being exchanged between the two parties, such as passwords, credit card numbers, personal information, or other sensitive data. The hacker can also modify the data that is being exchanged, such as altering the amount or the recipient of a payment, inserting malicious code or links into a message, or sending false information or instructions. The hacker can also impersonate either party and communicate with the other one, such as asking for more information, requesting a favor, or confirming an action. A man-in-the-middle attack can cause serious damage or compromise for the victims, such as financial losses, identity theft, data breaches, or security breaches. Therefore, it is important to protect yourself from man-in-the-middle attacks by using secure and encrypted communication channels, verifying the identity and authenticity of the parties you are communicating with, and avoiding suspicious links or attachments. You can learn more about man-in-the-middle attack by watching this video. The next hacking technique is brute force attack. A brute force attack is a type of hacking technique that involves trying many possible combinations of passwords or keys until the correct one is found. A password or a key is a secret code that is used to access or unlock a system, a network, or a file. A brute force attack can be done manually by a human hacker, or with automated tools by a computer program. The hacker may use a dictionary of common words or phrases or generate random strings of characters. A brute force attack can be used to crack different types of passwords or keys, such as login passwords. These are the passwords that are used to log into an account or a service, such as an email, a social media, or a bank account. A hacker can use a brute force attack to guess the login password and gain access to the account or the service. Encryption keys. These are the keys that are used to encrypt or decrypt data, such as files, messages, or transactions. A hacker can use a brute force attack to guess the encryption key and decrypt the data. Wireless keys. These are the keys that are used to secure a wireless network, such as a Wi-Fi network. A hacker can use a brute force attack to guess the wireless key and join the network. A brute force attack can take a long time and consume a lot of resources, depending on the length and complexity of the password or the key. The longer and more complex the password or the key is, the harder it is to guess. Therefore, it is important to use strong passwords or keys that are not easy to guess, such as those that contain a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. It is also important to change your passwords or keys regularly, and avoid using the same ones for different accounts or services. Do you want to learn more about brute force attacks? Check out this video. The last or eighth hacking technique is drive-by download. A drive-by download is a type of cyber attack that allows a hacker to download and install malware on a user's device without their consent or knowledge. A hacker can do this by hacking a legitimate website and adding malicious code to it, or by creating a fake website and tricking users to visit it. The malware can then run when the user views the website, clicks on a link, or opens an attachment. A drive-by download can be used to infect devices with ransomware, spyware, trojans, or other types of malware. A drive-by download is a very dangerous and stealthy attack that can compromise your device and your security. Therefore, it is important to protect yourself from drive-by downloads by using antivirus software, keeping your software updated, avoiding suspicious links or attachments, and using secure browsers and networks. Thank you for watching this video on 8 hacking techniques that you should know, but there are a lot of hacking techniques. If you want part 2, leave in a comment below. I hope you learned something new and useful from it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos on hacking and cybersecurity. If you have any questions or feedback about this video or hacking techniques in general, please leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you and answer your queries. This is the end of this video. Thank you for your time and attention. Stay safe and stay curious. See you in the next video.